but it was barely damp.
Okay, right, we'll come back to this then. We need to go back to the pub and get some liquadio. Such a vandal, Stobbart. Why have you got to be jamming shit in rocks and walls and things like that? You nut job. Right, there's the sink. Okay, we'll put that in there.
The slow drip of water barely dampened the towel. The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
You'd have thought he'd have just done that in the first place.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Done! I don't know where that guy is who's meant to be looking for his nephew. Right, up here. Over here. Down here. And we're ready for the Plaster of Paris competition 2012. Done.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
Done.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
Job's a good un. Right, now with that, we take this and use it here.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Woohoo! Hey, we're back in Paris. Why are we here?
I had no reason to go out into the night.
Oh, you've got an answer machine message.
I had messages waiting to be played.
You have 3 messages.
Hey, Collard, it's me, your favorite editor. Guess what? I'm gonna give you a second chance. I need somebody to write the TV column. Pays lousy, so what's new? If you're interested, drop by the office. In fact, drop by the office anyway. We have to talk, Nico. That story of yours I spiked. It won't go away. You've made some dangerous enemies out there.
Hey, Nico, it's your old pal. I mean, your new pal, George. Whoa, Ireland. It's a whole different country. And I got some amazing news for you. Gem of a story, in fact. Oh, gotta go. Yeah, fella here's got a drink lined up for me. See you tomorrow, Nico. Slàinte. Yep, only here for a day and I'm speaking the lingo like a local.
Mademoiselle Collard, this is Imelda Carchon. I wanted to thank you for being so understanding when... Come to lunch, why don't you? Tomorrow. I might have more news. There's a Monsieur Merlon coming to see me this evening. He says he knows why Pierre was murdered. In fact, he'll be here shortly. I shall let you know what he says. Goodbye, dear girl. Till tomorrow.
Merlin? Oh my God. Merlin's the killer. I better get over there and warn her now. When it came to being two-faced, Imelda was up there with the best. I owed her nothing, but I couldn't just let her die. I arrived to find the Palais Royal courtyard deserted. I only hoped that I'd beaten the assassin here. I had to warn Imelda before it was too late.
Now, I don't think the door or doorbell are going to work this time, unfortunately.
Locked? No way was I going to break through a door like that. The intercom system wasn't working. Bad sign. Somebody had cut the wire.
Oh no. What are we going to do, Nico? Well, obviously, we're going to tip this ladder-like structure over.
Fixed tight. Presumably to stop critics stealing it. Who else would want to?
Right. There we go.
I unhooked the first wire.
Well, no one's paying attention to
I
any of
released
this.
the second wire. Even with both wires removed, the statue remained upright.
It's alright, we can fix that. Chill your beans.
If I could deconstruct this, I could deconstruct anything.
Made of plastic or something. Right.
The plastic sheet was thick and strong. I'd need more than my hands to tear it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure you can do it with either this or the
no.
bullet. Okay, the bullet it is.
No.
You're not a bullet. You are. As if no one saw all this.
My God, I'm too late.
Oh shit.
Imelda. Oh no.
Nico?
Don't worry, you're going to be alright.
You know that isn't true.
It was Merlin, wasn't it?
Dressed as a cavalier. How absurd. You came to warn me, didn't you?
I must be crazy.
Let me see you, Nico.
All this time you were just using me. Which one is the real Imelda?
You are an extraordinary girl. Thierry would have been so proud of you.
You didn't know my father.
So like him. Something about the eyes. I wish we'd had time to get to know each other.
She was gone. She cheated me, lied to me, used me. But why? Even in death, Imelda looked the same. Beautiful, inscrutable. The Ice Queen alone in her ice palace.
She don't look too peaceful.
I opened it. Inside was a tiny gold key.
Take the key!
I took the key. I had to leave. I knew I could never return.
Dun 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 dun. No no no. Okay, well I think you've all gathered that we've now got the box, the key to the box. It's all good. Here we go.
The box was carved by my father. It never had a key. The elephant on the lid was a perfect match to Carchon's. I took out the key. I couldn't believe it. Imelda's key opened my father's box. I dreaded what I was going to find inside.
Oh god, it's another one of them photographs.
It was a photograph of Imelda. But why here? In my father's box. I felt as if a black hole had swallowed me up. Imelda and Carchon grinning. While behind them a village was being razed to the ground. Its people butchered. And there, next to them, staring out at me across the years, my own father. There was a letter. I feared there was even worse to come. Hotel St. George, Algiers, Friday. My darling Thierry, by the time you read this, you'll be safely out of Africa. You need not fear. Pierre and the organization do not know who you're really working for, or about us. Did you think I would betray you? I could not. You wanted me to leave him, but I don't have your courage. I know too much of what has been going on here. They would find me and they would kill us both. Enjoy your life in Paris, Thierry. Your life of honor, of patriotic duty. Do they give medals to spies? No. They'll just give you a phony job in an embassy somewhere. I could never share that with you. Imagine me, a diplomat's wife. So I must stay here with Pierre, the two of us bound together by what we have done to this country. Au revoir, my love. You will be in my heart until I die. Imelda. Suddenly everything made sense. My father had been working undercover for the government. He was one of the good guys after all. He and Imelda must have fallen in love. She'd found out who he really was, so he had to leave. It had broken her heart, but she had never revealed it to anyone. I knew I couldn't either. Whatever he was doing, he'd had good reason to keep it secret. I decided I would respect that and tell nobody. I knew it was George. For a moment I was tempted to pretend that I was out, or ask him to go away and come back later. But then... Come in.
Hello, George. So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead. Then Leary woke me in the middle of the night to help bail out the cellar.
The cellar was flooded?
Yeah, some idiot had left the faucet running.
And you say P. Graham has disappeared?
Without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
P. Graham's gem?
The Templars' gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Montfaucon is in Paris. We know this.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, George. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
To who?
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
This winds me up. Because you got to go through all 5 of them before you're allowed to exit out. Like, I don't think there's an... Look, no exit. No exit! It's alright.
There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod. There's a guy working on a loom. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. A knight with a crystal ball. The knight scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Look there, 2 guys on the same horse. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man. I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lobineau at the Kron Museum.
Ah!
Why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Will do! It's been a pleasure, Nico.
I so much wanted to talk to George about everything that had happened, but I knew I never could. My father's connection to Africa would have to remain a secret forever. His bravery would be known only to the government, and to me. Revealing it would just damage his memory. People would take the story and twist it. Before long, he would be the villain and Carchon would be the hero. I know how they do that. I'm a journalist.
I am a journalist. Alright, so we're back at the museum. I have Dr. Pepper in one hand. Where's the professor?
Pardon me?
Oui, monsieur?
What's going on, dude?
Do you know anything about the Knights of the Temple?
No, sir.
The sign on the tripod says...
It does?
Yeah. It doesn't mention John D. at all.
Most remiss.
You don't know anything about the tripod, do you?
No, I don't. I never had much of a start in life, you see. I owe what little education I gained to my uncle. He was an optician, but he also doubled as the village school teacher. He taught me the alphabet. Wait, 19 letters of it. The bottom row of the chart was too small even for him to read, so he left them out.
Why don't you start over and enroll for adult education?
You know, I never thought of that. Do you think if I studied art and did all my homework, I could be a professor of history?
At your age? Dream on.
Bit harsh.
Do you know anything about medieval manuscripts?
Not me, monsieur. I am no scholar. It is the uniform.
And they
No, hang on.
Whereas,
Of course.
We've read
not.
that before.
thanks for your help.
I don't know where, I don't know where the, professor is. Bit irritating. I was just going to see if I could go back to Ireland again. I felt like a double holiday! Right, that's Nico's place. She was telling me to go off Rosso. And Rosso's not here, so we need to find out what's going on there.
Sergeant Moo?
Yes.
I'd like to report an assault.
Yes, monsieur? Where is the victim?
I'm the victim. I've been harassed by a pair of thugs.
I see. And where did this alleged assault take place?
Outside the Hotel Ubu. They stopped me as I was leaving and went through my pockets.
Could you describe the suspects, monsieur?
One looked like a gorilla, and the other looked like a weasel. Their names are Flap and Guido.
Bon. I'll get them this time.
Have you heard of a man called Marquet?
Yes. He used to be known as the Mole of Montmartre. I heard he's been hospitalized, probably by one of his rivals.
Hospitalized?
Which hospital was Marquet taken to?
The Hagenmeyer Clinic, in the Avenue des Hérissons.
Why was Marquet known as the Mole of Montmartre?
Because he lived in Montmartre, I suppose.
Yeah, but why the mole?
I don't know. Maybe he ruined people's lawns.
Maybe. Okay.
See you later, Sergeant.
We're off to a hospital. Police, Rougerie. Hospital. Pardon me.
I felt a little guilty as I tried the door, like I was about to rob a grave. I gripped the handle with an involuntary tremble in my hand and pulled. The door was locked.
Oh no, it means we can't rob anything. Oh god, I remember this place. Okay. Hello, sir.
Hi, my name's George Stobbart.
Really? If you wish to make an appointment, see the receptionist.
I'm looking for a guy named Jacques Marquet.
In which department does he work?
He doesn't. He's a patient.
I see. You do realize there are strict policies regarding visiting hours, don't you?
This is important. I have to talk to Marquet urgently.
We make no exceptions to the rules.
It's a matter of life and death.
The well-oiled running of this hospital is a matter of life and death. That's why we have rules.
Well, we have our rules. Very nice.
Thanks
Okay.
for your help.
I wish to no longer speak to you. Personage.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Is this the Hagenmeyer Clinic?
That's correct.
I thought I was in a garden center.
Oh, the plants. They were my idea. A little greenery to evoke the spirit of nature. How may I help you?
You're not from France. You sound like Ruby Wax.
I'm here to see Jacques Marquet.
Oh, yes. Are you related to our client, sir?
No. What happens if I say yes?
Yeah, I'm his, long-lost brother.
A brother half his age with a different name and an American accent.
Yeah, people always say that. I blame Mom. We were separated at an early age. After a mix-up in the nursery at the Oakland shopping mall.
I've never heard anything so ridiculous in all my life.
I guess not.
Surely you must have reasonable doubt, though.
Has Marquet been visited by a man in a
Why
clown
would you
costume?
ask that?
Oh, no.
You haven't seen a man in disguise?
Well, there's Theodore the Bear. He comes every Thursday to entertain the children. Personally, I think he scares them half to death in that crummy old bear suit. If I was stuck on my back with tubes in every orifice, he's the last person I'd want to see.
What you get up to in your personal time is nothing to do with me, thank you, love.
Has Marquet had a visit from a pair of gangsters?
I should hope not. Can you describe them?
A thin guy who looks like a weasel and his friend, the gorilla.
Sounds as if they escaped from the zoo.
So, do I get to see Marquet before the funeral?
That attitude will get you nowhere. My instructions were quite clear. No one gets to see Marquet. So unless you can prove you're a relative or a close acquaintance, you're wasting your time here.
How about this?
Look at this ID pass.
So you're Merlin. Marquet's been asking for you.
For me?
Yes. He was shouting your name when they brought him in here. Now, let me see. He was on Ward B12, as I recall. Oh, he's being transferred to... Oh, dear. He's on Ward J2. That's... Nurse Grendel's ward.
Dun, dun, dun.
What's so bad about Nurse Grendel?
She runs that ward like a South American prison.
Keeping a well-disciplined ward isn't a crime, is it?
Well-disciplined. In the discipline and punishment stakes, she'd whip the butt off the Marquis de Sade. Everything, I mean everything, is done to a strict routine. 6 o'clock alarm call, 6:10 bowel movements, and woe betide anyone who doesn't have a result. Those patients of hers are like Pavlova's dogs.
She sounds like a real nightmare.
And then some.
Pavlova's a cake, isn't it?
If Nurse Grendel is that bad, how come the authorities tolerate her?
She's like part of the furniture.
I was beginning to get the picture. This woman was jealous, with a big green capital J.
Why would she be jealous? She's got a different skill set. She's a receptionist, this Grendel chick's a nurse. Can't put receptionists in nurse jobs, it just wouldn't work.
How do I find Nurse Grendel's ward?
Down the corridor on the left, turn right at the senior consultant's washroom. Right again at the executive coffee lounge. Bear left past the administrator's sauna. And turn left at the end. That's J2. And good luck.
Okay.
Thanks for your help, ma'am.
You're welcome.